Hey, hello there, it's me RJB from RJB TV, and welcome to the club. Because today we're going to be enjoying ourselves, as the title implies, some Voss against Burgersasu. And we've got Voss, Burgersasu. Actually, this is Burgersasu. You're on the blue Protoss on the middle right of the map. And on the other side of the map, here on the top left corner, we've got Voss, also known as JH. And actually, I've been wondering about something. That, because the Korean alphabet uses the exact same sign for letters V, F, B, and P, so as you can see here on the chat, he actually called himself Boss. Like, he's the boss. He's not Voss, he's the boss. He's JH, the boss, not the Voss. So I've kind of been, calling his name incorrectly. So I've been wondering, should I stay with Voss? Should I switch over to Boss? Or should I just call him JH? Which is, I assume, a name most people somewhat know him by as JH. Because he used the name JH in StarCraft World 1 vs 1 fastest competition for, I think, about 25 seasons, although he played in, I think, about 10 of them, or 11. He won most of them. I think he won about 7 or 6 seasons, which means that in about half the seasons he played, he won 1 vs 1, which is really impressive. He really played a fair share in the foreign fastest community. But there's a person who he has played more against than against his foreigners, and that is against Burgersasu. In the year 2018, 19, and 2020, even 2021, Boss, I'm gonna call him Boss, I'll call him JH. Let's just say JH, it's easier. It's more ingrained into my system to call him JH. JH has played a lot of games against Burgersasu. I'd say 500 or 600 games, maybe even more. Almost every single day for 3 or 4 years, these two would at least play 1 or 2 games against each other. And honestly, that has led to both players becoming absolutely ridiculously good at playing specifically against each other, because they really do know all of the habits of their opponent. They really know how their opponent likes to play. They can read each other like a book. And I think that leads to some of the most dangerous situations for either player you can probably come up with. Because Burgersasu knows what JH is going to do, but JH knows what Burgersasu is going to do. They kind of know each other's tricks and little stunts that they like to pull. JH here goes for triple barracks into a command center. Burgersasu started off with 2 gateway nexus into double gas, forge, and cyber. Gonna get cannons up there in the front very soon. JH there dancing back and forth against those zealots. Zealots are mostly trying to buy time for those cannons to come up there in the front, and maybe even pick and kill some of those marines in the case JH makes a mistake. And this is not yet a mistake, because he's keeping an ample amount of distance between the marines and the zealots. The zealots might get on top, might not. As long as JH micros his marines well, which he usually does, he shouldn't be losing this fight in any way possible. Burgersasu apparently just wanted to get 2 zealots in to scout the base. Some useful information getting into his hands, although... oh yeah, this zealot there goes all the way in. So he knows there's 2 command centers. That's an important bit of information to confirm, because it makes it easier to optimize his own build order here at home. How many cannons does he need? When does he need the cannons? That's important information. The fact that he didn't see an academy yet, and that he saw 2 command centers this early into the game, means he can probably be fine with getting his cannons after 5 minutes. So for now, 1 cannon in the front, and the zealots are there as well to protect. These marines are not going to break through. This 1 cannon is going to just dish out massive amounts of damage. These marines, while they're in a pretty big group, pretty big number, are never going to break through without stim and without medics. And neither medics and stim have finished for JH, because the academy is only just now going to finish in about 5 or 6 seconds. Engineering bay also on the way, getting double factory as well. Double factory usually means we're not going to be seeing an early starport, because that might be a little bit too much to afford. But considering as triple command center already, we might see a starport. Kind of really depends on how rich is he going to be after double factory. Barrack number 4, so he's really going to rely on heavy marine production. I do see the SUV being put into position to build a starport there, though. So he's going to go for a starport. Getting his machine shops now as well. Got double robot there finished up for Burgersasu. He's getting zealot speed, getting shuttle speed, and getting level 1 attack. Now, level 1 attack won't finish at the same time as zealot speed, or shuttle speed, or the 2 reavers that are going to get picked up and put into the shuttle. It's going to take a little while longer for a level 1 weapon attack to finish. So not everything will line up perfectly, but looking at this army Burgersasu has right now, he's already on 15 zealots. It's going to be 17 as the reavers get picked up and put into the shuttle. And it's going to walk across the map, but speed for shuttle and zealot finishing up at about the same time. It's going to try to break through the front with this pretty sizable zealot reaver army. JH there started building a wall in the front, got 1 turret as well to detect our Templars and to make it impossible to micro the reaver shuttle in this very choke position. He didn't wall it off yet though. You might wall it off with this SCV, but there's no wall, and there he is, just in time. Perfectly timed. 2 tanks there in the back. Siege mode not yet finished. So he's going to try to break through before siege mode finishes up. Reavers unloading, going to break through that wall. A lot of damage coming down though from the Marines and the tanks. So he pulls back the Zealots for now, breaks open the wall with those Reavers. And the tank sieged up. Got a shuttle there coming in. A Wraith coming in to kill the shuttle. 1 Reaver goes down. You can no longer micro the Reaver with the shuttle because the Wraith came in to kill the shuttle. All of JH's timings are perfect right here. Defends the attack, tries to get 1 more shot off on the supply depot. But considering it's already 4 tanks, JH really was on track with his timings. Everything came exactly as he needed it. So it doesn't give Burgersasu room to wrestle his way into JH's base. Picks up that Reaver, saves it. That's a smart pickup. Still only has 1 cannon in the front. So Burgersasu also just spending his minerals really effectively and smart based off of the information he gets from his scouting earlier on with the 2 zealots that managed to sneak through. So 3rd factory on the way. Got 4 barracks there in the back. It's 1 armory. Got another engineering bay. Going to fly onto the hill to provide extra vision on the side. Got 2 raids at the moment. He is going for more raids. So it's going to be a... JH is very good at playing a turtle Terran. He's very good at not overlooking any details in his defense. His timings are perfect. He knows when the attacks are usually going to be coming out. The one thing he's a little bit bad at, in my opinion, is scanning all the time here on that choke. That's one of the few things he's really bad at. But he's very aware of what's coming. He's very good at responding. Because most of the times he knows what's going to happen. He has got a great feeling of what the opponent might be up to. Triple Reaver there clearing out the top right corner with great success. Kills about 20 Marines, 2 tanks, more tanks, Marines coming in, more Scarabs exploding exactly on the targets they wanted to be killing. Although now the Reavers do go down, but they did kill pretty much every single defensive unit that was protecting against the shuttle drops. There's still 2 tanks in the back and about 12 Marines left, but I think he lost about 24 Marines, a couple medics, and about 4 tanks in total. So that's a pretty good hit there on JH's army and his defenses, but the follow-up attack from Burgersasu is going a little bit slow because he's spending his money too fast on too many different things. Sometimes I think it is a little bit better not to spend on a wide variety of things all at once, and to instead focus a little bit more on spending on a very good follow-up attack. But Burgersasu, just no money in the bank. He's spending everything at the same time as it comes in. So his macro is very good in that sense. But I think he could have really benefited from just going for a very fast follow-up drop on that Reaver drop. I think he could have snuck in and done some real damage during the time frame that JH didn't have a lot of tanks and marines out to defend himself from those shuttles. He wanted to go for a big drop instead. He got a lot of Corsairs mixed in as well to fight against those raids. Gonna come in there over the side. Corsair is gonna escort those shuttles in. Shuttle's gonna get target fired by the marines, but he can't. He's flying all the way around. One shuttle goes down, and all the other shuttles there arriving on the scene, on destination. SVs are running away. SVs getting stormed. Kills. Did kill about 12 or maybe even 16 kills more. I think it went down from about 89 down to 59, so that's 30 kills. But the fact JH had 89 SCVs means that losing 30, he still got 59 left. So he's in pretty good shape after that drop, despite the fact that it was a pretty hard-hitting drop. He just had so many SCVs that it didn't matter, but it didn't matter as much as it could have. So JH is in pretty good shape. 150 supply for him, and 175 there for Burgersasu. Burgersasu got his production on point. Just needs more shuttles. Because his attacks are pretty hard hitting. So far, the Reaver drop hit pretty hard. The attack in the front did more damage than... It's hard to describe it, but it did some damage. It did some damage, but JH's response to that frontal attack earlier was just so perfect that even though Burgersasu did some decent damage, it didn't do enough damage. But the Reaver drop was good. The Templar Zelda drop was good. The follow-up is a little bit too slow. But now he does have a mass attack. They're coming through the front door. Well, trying to break through the front door. The shuttles are coming from the southern side. Marines and raids hunting down the shuttles, coming from every single direction, getting a great flank. And he's unable to really unload anything of significance. Okay. That was a good one. That was a really good one. He cleared out the depots in the front. And he got the tanks to splash damage from the Zealot onto the SCVs. And he killed about 20 SCVs, maybe even 25. So that is a pretty good hit once again. He is actually managing to slow JH down, despite the fact that JH is defending himself really well. Just that one Zealot unload onto the SCVs did the trick. Now the question is going to be, is Burgersasu himself fast enough? His minerals are always low. He's always building drops, but he's going for really big drops. And I think going for only big drops is easier to defend than continuous small drops, like 458 would do. A lot of small drops, I believe, is harder to defend than these very big drops coming in time and time again. Because there's so much time in between that the Terran usually recovers before the big drop lands. But here he comes in. It's going to be a very big unload on top of the tanks and the cities. The raids did take down one or two shuttles though as they were flying in. We're not seeing a lot of SCVs dying here, mostly tanks dying. And that very big drop didn't do that much damage. I mean, a lot of SCVs on the minerals are gone. A lot of tanks are gone. But the SCVs themselves are mostly and largely still alive. Got 77, he is in perfect shape. And his base is now also almost completely filled out. Just needs a couple more factories, although JH might have other plans. He's killing the bunkers in the front. He might be planning on moving out very, very soon. He might not, but I do believe he is planning on doing that. He has level 1 attack, level 2 attack for the tanks. Level 1 armor on the way. His air is on level 1 for armor and attack. And he's already moving out into the middle, not planning on giving Burgersasu time to prepare another attack. So far, Burgersasu hasn't really managed to really do much. I really think he's been giving JH too much time with those very big drop buildups. And again, he's doing a very big drop once again, a lot of Reavers. But the downside of those very big drops is they have to do significant amounts of damage. Otherwise, you're just throwing 60 to 70 supply space down the meat grinder, whereas the Terran doesn't lose that much supply. And it allows them to kind of like this, just start moving out. Although those drops from Burgersasu are pretty nice, those storms on the tanks slowing JH down. Well, now, ooh, the raids are getting sniped out of the air. They are unloading there though, but there's tanks all around, and this drop is gonna kill a lot of SCVs. Okay, it did kill about 40, maybe 30 SCVs, so that one does succeed. Once again, in doing real damage. But the question once again is, did it do enough? We've got 5 command centers for JH. He's not yet moving out. He's just clearing out the cannons in the front with a couple of tanks and keeping the rest here back at home. He knows at the moment he cannot fully commit to an attack, so he's just buying himself a little bit more time, whereas Burgersasu is still just going for the gateway strategy of big, massive shuttle drops that so far have managed to slow JH down, but haven't crippled him yet. JH almost maxed out. He's on a comfortable amount of workers. Got a lot of raids for anti-shuttle defense. Turrets all over the place being built pretty much non-stop all the time. All he needs are a couple more factories, as I said before. A couple more factories, and he should be in a great position to move out across the map. Because Burgersasu has very bad upgrades. Very bad upgrades. Understatement. Level 2 attack, no armor, no shields. Whereas JH, level 1 armor, level 2 attack, and soon level 3 attack. And we're not even 20 minutes into the game, and he's going to have level 3 finish at about 17.5 minutes. Which makes his mech, his tanks, extremely strong against that non-upgraded gateway army from Burgersasu. Drop comes in from the bottom and from the top. The top drop gets sniped by raids and pretty much just 2 zealots unload. And so far, the anti-drop defense from JH has been perfect. Almost perfect. Almost perfect. It can be better. He can be more proactive. He can keep scanning to keep track of those shuttles, which he isn't really doing. But he responds really well. His awareness of the minimap is superb. Superb. Every single time a shuttle comes in, he sees it and responds to it. Templars moving out. Storm those tanks. Tanks getting... Okay. Tanks getting erased off of the map. A couple of them do stay alive. This is a lot of Templars, though. There's a lot of... I am thinking that Burgersasu might be thinking he has a bigger lead over JH than he really does. I feel that Burgersasu might not be feeling the urgency of the situation, because JH is really strong at the moment. He's got a good base, a lot of factories, he's maxed out, but really good upgrades. Like, actually really good upgrades. Burgersasu now on 112, working on 223 for those gateway units. But his gateway units don't stand a chance against those level 3 attack upgraded tanks. Those tanks are absolutely blasting those zealots, those gateway units, to the moon and beyond. So this drop has to do some real damage, or Burgersasu is in some real trouble. His tanks are on the middle sieging up. Marines are stimming their way through. What are their upgrades on the Marines? Level 3 attack on the Marines as well. Oh my god, usually people never get level 2 or 3 Marine attack upgrade, but JH just went for level 3 attack on the Marines. Those Marines are strong. Maybe they can't take much damage because they only have level 0 armor upgrade, but they hit hard. They punch really hard. Zealous there, gonna try to buy some time. Drop on the bottom side, gonna try to fly in over the bottom side and hopefully do so much damage to JH that JH will be forced to tap out or retreat back to a defensive game plan. The shuttles are coming in. Raid's intercepting the shuttles. Shuttles are getting sniped out of the air. How many are going to unload? I think about 7 unload. Archons are on the scene. Shuttles are on the scene as well. They're having trouble unloading. And everything that does unload gets taken and killed immediately. And here we see once again why just going for really big, massive, huge supply drops might not be the best choice. Because when they fail, and this one did kill about 20 SCVs, but when they fail in achieving their objective, which is to kill the command center, you're suddenly left with no army. And in this situation, JH has a tank army on the middle, knocking on his front door, which actually is already gone. So now tanks are going to march onwards. He's going to set up some turrets as well for detection and for anti-carrier. He's building a carrier, an arbiter base here on the bottom side. Going to get about 7 or 8 stargates. Going to go for arbiters. Hopefully save the game with stasis and maybe recalls. But my prognosis for this game is looking really bad. He calls GG without a fight, because he knows the fight is already over. Tanks are sieging up in his choke. Burgersasu tried the same trick over and over again, which is big drops with a lot of time in between. JH has all the time in the world to prepare. The frequency was too low, and it's kind of like putting all your eggs into one basket, trying to end it with one big, massive punch. While in reality, in most games of Protoss against Terran, usually it is a lot of small punches that stack up on top of each other and add a little bit more damage every single time, and the Terran just gets worn out. They fall behind. They can't keep up. And I think if Burgersasu sticks to a game plan like that, I think his Protoss against Terran is way more deadly than what we just saw. But we gotta give it to JH. JH played a really good defense. And you know what? I'm kind of feeling like I'm in a mood for another game. So let's look for a game real quick, okay? And see if I can find something more recent between JH and Burgersasu. So let's take you on a ride. Let's take you on a trip through my replay files. So these are all the files I've got. 458, Ameba City, Burgersasu, Bjol, Dorami, Gangnam Life. Although this is more like all the Gangnam Life replays from other people, their files, I put them into this map. Lebaku, Lucky Back, Gensei, Question, Ryan T-shirt, Sexy, a professional player who played a bunch of 3v3s with other professionals on fastest map. Star again, who sent me some replays, and my StarCraft crashed. Oh god. Oh, good lord. Good lord. Okay, so my StarCraft crashed, so let me load it back up. Didn't expect that to happen. Didn't expect that to happen. So it's logging in. Yeah, so this is like happens to me like once every 4 or 5 months, and to have it happen while I'm recording, that is an interesting thing to happen. That is something I didn't expect, something you didn't expect, something that caught me off guard. So now I gotta okay, so let's switch back and take a trip into the replay folder. So here we got Boss, JH. I ordered the replays before 2019 and after, because before 2019, July 18, a lot of replays would corrupt. So I generally don't do anything from before this time period unless they're short replays, because short replays don't corrupt from before that time. Let's go into 2021 and look for Burger. Oh, I typed it wrong. We've got a game of burgers. Let's look for a single game. Oh, that one's too long. That one's too long. So yeah, I got a couple of games here between Burgersasu and JH from the time period. Let's look into this other map from before that. I want a game that isn't too long, but it also isn't too short. And it has to be a standalone game. And turns out I don't have a standalone game between Burgersasu and JH that isn't short. So, I'm gonna have to make a choice. Okay, Burger Store. So, okay, let's do this replay. Hamburger Store against JH from 2020, May 23. And I think we've wasted about 5 minutes looking for a replay because the game crashed, which slowed everything down quite a bit. Okay. Burgersasu is going to be on the Terran and JH is going to be on the Protoss. JH's Protoss is kind of fun to watch. He's the name Hio Haha. You're on the olive, not olive green. This is not olive green. This is olive green. So, I just said not olive green. It's pale green. Not olive green. It is pale green. Pale green. And here we got Burgersasu, or I hope it's Burgersasu, on the name Hamburger Store with U instead of an E, on the magenta pink Terran, on the bottom left of the map. So both players very close to each other. Let's see who is going to be the winner of this game. Is it going to be JH, or is it going to be Burgersasu? This replay is from, I think, about a year after the replay that we watched just now. So it's not a continuous set. It's from two completely separate time frames. But I think both players kind of just kept on improving from the previous replay. So this should be, maybe it won't be, it should be a slightly higher display of skill for both players. Or maybe at least a little bit more consistent. But that is under the assumption that Hamburger Store is Burgersasu and not someone else. It might be someone else, but sometimes it's just too hard to figure out who it is. So it might be someone else, just saying it. So JH goes for Gateway Nexus Gateway. And another gateway, it's a triple gateway surprise. Let's see if Burgersasu is ready and prepared for the triple gateway special menu with his own triple barrack standard menu. This is standard. This is something you will pretty much always see a Terran do 90% of the time. Triple barracks. Burgersasu here throwing out the question mark because he's wondering, yo dude, JH, 3 gateways? What are you doing? He's like, dude, what's this? Triple gateway, historically speaking, kind of fails because it delays the cyber core so much that it's, I wouldn't say generally considered bad to do, because you can make this work. It doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, but historically speaking, 2 gateway gas cyber forge has more success, because advanced technology against a Terran is more important than a good amount of zealots. And now we're already seeing Burgersasu very convinced that he can make something happen with an offensive marine push. Whether he's right or wrong, that's what we're going to find out. Got a cybercore on the way there for JH. Might go for a forge as well. Zealots are retreating for now. And Burger Store getting another command center. Adding on an academy now as well. And while that's happening, I'm gonna have a drink. Because I haven't used my glass of very delicious drinking things yet. Actually, fight breaking out, so let's put the drinking on hold. Well, I did some pretty good marine micro, although he micros in 2 separate directions. Splits up in every single direction he can. Zealots killed a lot more marines than I thought they would, but the marines do come out on top. Because there was a bunker in the front, and the bunker, of course, does help with adding damage and keeping those marines healthy, safe, and sound, away from harm, safe in their small little metal or concrete. I think this is some reinforced steel. I'm honestly, I don't know what it is, but it's pretty damn strong. And it's keeping those Marines safe from harm. So JH there loses a couple of zealots, but well, he doesn't really care. Factory there, on the way, in the back. Burgersasu building a frontal wall. JH sees the wall. Gonna try to kill the SCV. Kills the SCV. Which means he kind of achieved what he wanted to do. Let's slow down the wall for now. Got his 4 robotics there on the way in the front. Cybercore there in the back, finished up of course. He might get gas number 3. Currently on 33 probes against 26 from Burgersasu. Burgersasu getting gas number 2 there in the corner, below the minimap. Just so we don't miss it. The wall on the front looks pretty sturdy, pretty strong. Engineering bay now on the way as well. Medics have finished up. Stim is finished up. Got range for Marines on the way. Citadel of a Dune there for JH. Robotics number 2 on the way, and so is the support bay. He's going for armor first, which is a classic JH move. Armor first. Just to make those zealots harder to kill, and those Templars that he's going to drop with the shuttle harder to kill as well, and so are the Reavers. So instead of just getting level 1 attack, which only works for Dragoons and Zealots, he's getting level 1 armor, because it works for all of the ground units, instead of just the 2 units on the ground that can attack. Oh wait, he got range and then he got stim. He's getting 5 barracks in total. We're going to be a barracks-focused defense. Starport on the way, getting turrets on the sides as well. Placing those turrets one tiny space away from the wall. Not against the wall, but oh, drop there comes in. It's 2 zealots. They're gonna scout. 3 zealots. They're gonna scout and hopefully kill and slow down turret production or construction on the sides. For now, it's mostly scouting, and then after he gets into the backside, he's gonna kill whatever he can. He just wants to get information and maybe disrupt something. And the information he got. Disrupting he didn't really do. Didn't really disrupt it much. Now, question gonna be, is he gonna go for a frontal push like Burger did in the previous game? Or is it gonna be, he's gonna go for a frontal push. There's no tank in the front yet, it's still there sitting at the factory. He's got siege mode finished up there though. So tank rolling to the front. JH catching the Burger by surprise. He's gonna siege at the tank there as well. Burger's waiting, striking. Built one more he built one more supply depot to finish that wall. He needs units to come from the back to the front. Reaver doing a real damage here. Gonna try to take down both Reavers with the tanks before the Reavers get picked back up into the shuttle. Both Reavers, they go down. Defends that one successfully, but does lose the entire frontal construction of bunkers, turrets, and supply depots. But it doesn't matter. He managed to survive the attack, and now he's going on the counter-attack. Burgersasu is out for blood, but a Reaver there in the front. Reaver gonna successfully defend that choke. The Burger might try nonetheless. Zealots are out too far in the front, gonna get stimmed down without protection from the Reaver or the cannon, which means now the Marines can try to break through that frontal choke. Another Reaver is on the way. Burgersasu balling up his Marines, gonna heal them up before he goes. That one Reaver, if it gets one single good Reaver Scarab shot off on the Marines, he's gonna kill a lot of Marines. Burgersasu though, returning back home. Shuttle going for a drop over the top corner. Will the Marines be back in time to intercept it or not? He scans, he sees the shuttle, he knows it's coming. He knows it's coming. Reaver unloads though, because the turrets are forced. The turrets take down the shuttle. So he's forced to unload in the top corner. Scarab kills 2. Kills 2 turrets as well. So yeah, he got something out of that, but not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Dragoons moving to the side. Is he going to put them on the high ground? Or is he just moving them there to kill structures floating in the air? Something tells me that this might not be Burgersasu because he got almost 2,000 minerals 9 minutes in. One thing is for sure, Burger Store is playing pretty on point. but he has no worker production. This is definitely not Burgersasu. Drop comes in, drop gets sniped. Reaver unloads. Reaver doesn't shoot. But something tells me this is not Burgersasu. Or maybe he just got supply blocked from losing all of his supply depots in the front. And that's why he wasn't producing any SCVs. That's also a possibility. I haven't been paying attention that well. Getting commands to number 3. So 96, almost 100 supply, but he's almost on half of the SCVs compared to JH. JH now going for another frontal attack, it appears. There's tanks there though. The tanks are gonna... That frontal attack, not gonna work. Although, there comes the shuttle. Reaver's on low, gonna attack the bunkers and hopefully kill supply depots as well. Because the splash damage is real. He's slowly breaking through. But this attack is not... There's actually a lack of Marines in the bunkers, which kind of just means that pretty much only the tanks are shooting on the Dragoons. And drop there on the bottom side got sniped out of the air by Burgersasu. Now focused on those tanks on the high ground. A lot of idle SCVs there in the back. He's going to try to go for a hill push. We've got a fleet beacon on the way there for JH and 2 more Stargates. We've got 2 Stargates finished at the moment, 2 more on the way. He's looking to go for carriers after this one. Drop there ready to go over to the northern side. Burgersasu's macro is now more on point than before. Shuttle goes in. Tanks giving vision on the high ground though. Marines are in between. Marines might take it down. He called for a pause and now the shuttle goes in all the way. Will the SBs run away? SBs are not... The SBs do run away. And it turns out it's only Zealots on the scene. So this is the shuttle that didn't matter. And Burgersasu doesn't take any economic damage, but he's still on half the worker count compared to JH. And JH is growing bigger pretty damn fast, throwing out a lot of Stargates because he really needs to defend himself against those tanks that are getting closer to his probes as time goes on. Drop there on the side gets taken down, Marines get stormed. Another drop there coming over the northern side. Shuttles get sniped out of the air, but one shuttle makes it through. Zealot, 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 and another Zealot. There's 4 Zealots unloading. Nothing dangerous at the moment, not yet. So Burgersasu defending this one without really putting much effort into it. Focused on push. Oh my god, he killed the probes. He got a probe kill there with the tanks while I wasn't paying attention and JH wasn't paying attention either. Burgersasu using that hill successfully to his advantage. One more dropship there. Unloading in the bottom corner. Rolling forward. Gonna go for another shot. He got 40 probes on the minerals at the moment. Peaches up. Kills everything. He's got 14 left. And JH calls GG. JH just handled that really, really poorly. Burgersasu defended himself exceptionally well. His worker production or his production overall wasn't that hot. But do keep in mind he lost 5 supply depots in the front earlier into the game. Was supply blocked for a pretty long time. And now I just kind of want to see that very first tank drop killing those probes. I think JH has spent too many minerals on a Stargates, or I think JH just wasn't really focusing on defending his probes that well. He went from 95. Let's get both those tanks. They shoot on the cannon, because killing the cannon, of course, saves tanks. So kills the one tank goes down, kills the cannon. Probes are still on the minerals. He scans for the minerals, so let's turn off the vision there. With the like this, sees the probes, shoots on the probes, and he kills 46 probes in total. JH not paying attention because he's focused on dropping. Loses others 60 kills, 61 kills. I don't think I've ever seen a tank get 61 kills before. And it's all because JH had way too many probes, but still 61 kills is a lot of kills. Very impressive amount of kills. He successfully defended against a drop at the same time as well, because it was flying over at about the same time these tanks were unloading here. So yeah, Burgersasu wins game number 2, and JH loses on Protoss, which means both games Protoss lost. Korean Terrans, pretty damn scary beasts. Pretty damn scary players. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed it. I kind of enjoyed it. Both games a little bit more standard, with both the Protoss players failing to hurt the Terran in more ways than one. The Terrans just going for swift counterattacks, and the game's being over without much of a fight. Without much of a fight.